Welcome to a new episode of World Stories. We'll be taking you on an exciting journey all over the world, full of various strange fun facts and stories. In our journey this week, we'll take you to the French National Day celebration in Bahrain. Like graffiti, we'll take you to a street art festival in Russia. We'll tell you the story of a cat that has been living in an oak tree for 6 years. This and much more exciting stories in our journey around the world. Fasten your seatbelts. Bastille Day is the common name given to the National Day of France, which is celebrated on the 14th of July each year. The French National Day is the anniversary of storming of the Bastille jail in 1789, a turning point of the French Revolution. Celebrations are held throughout France, with the oldest and largest regular military parade in Europe on the Champs-Élysées in Paris. But celebration is not only in Paris. There's nothing stopping the French community here in Bahrain to celebrate in their own way. We asked them how they usually spend this special day and how it feels to celebrate it in Bahrain. In this episode of World Stories, we're showing you how the French community in Bahrain are celebrating their food and culture on their National Day. Let's take a look.
First, in the morning, we always watch the défilé. You know how they have with the aircraft in front of the television. We have a special lunch, and then we go and celebrate with the fireworks. So we go normally outside with the children. Living in Bahrain for 20 years, when you come to Bahrain, all the Bahrainis are so welcome. You know, they love you. Whatever you do is fantastic, and they just want to know more about you. They've been traveling mostly to France, and they love France, and they just make you feel like home every time, from day one. And you know what? And you have lovely Bahraini friends, and they love France, which is fab, which is great.
I'm very happy and proud to celebrate the French National Day and just to bring a little bit of this French culture and, you know, all these elements of the food and everything else that is what is the French, you know, in the world right now. I feel very proud. Look, Bahrain welcomed me more than 11 years ago and treat me very well. And so I'm kind of part of the Bahraini family now.
The 14th of July 1789 in Paris, people stormed the Bastille. Bastille was a jail, and people opened the doors of this jail, and so we celebrate the fraternity.
This is for us a rare occasion to celebrate the Bastille Day elsewhere than in Paris, for example, and this is amazing because people love France, and we are very happy to see that today. People here are very open-minded and love French culture, and we can see that every day at the Alliance Française, because at the Alliance Française, more than 60% of our attendants are Bahraini. As a professional of languages, I travel all around the world, and I never see people loving French as here in Bahrain.
Well, it's amazing because it's the first time that we're in Bahrain during the National Day, and it really showed us that we have both culture, that it's emissive, and we feel amazing about it.
It's absolutely fabulous. We're actually back, all three of us, from holidays. So we study in Switzerland, Belgium and England respectively. However, Bahrain is home.
I think really having like the mix of cultures and being from France obviously, but having lived here our whole life, I think it's really nice enjoying like the mix of cultures at the same time. So yeah, we're really happy to be here. I've always lived here since I was born. We came here, so I've always been treated like sort of like a Bahraini. It's amazing. Most of my friends are Bahraini, so for me it's my home.
Tell me about the French traditions on the National Day.
We usually have military coming out sur la place des Champs-Élysées. We have the planes that come with the colors. So it's for us it's amazing, and we watch it on TV actually most of the time.
What are your traditions on the National Day?
Our main tradition is going to the fireworks in the countryside.
We're with the whole family in the countryside house. So like we wake up early, our grandparents are already in front of the TV watching the whole like ceremony happening. So, and then at night, yeah, just looking at the fireworks.
It's always a pleasure to be there celebrating the French National Day because it's a taste of France. Bahrain is well known to be the best country for expats, and I check it every day in fact.
Bahraini are these kind of people where very kind, very open, very welcoming, so you feel good to be French and Bahrain. Yes, French is a culture, Bahrain is a different culture, but yes, there's a strong intertwine. It's really strongly intertwined, and it's very easy, very nice, so it's an easygoing life.
Bonsoir. We're celebrating French National Day here in Bahrain, and very excited to do that because it reminds me of home. Like every 14th of July, we celebrate, our traditions and our culture. So tonight I get to be, to eat some French food, taste the specialties, and of course remember like what home is about. And I think like Bahrain is my second home away from home. So happy National Day to everybody.
We were very happy to celebrate today with the French people in Bahrain, their National Day, and celebrate each aspect of the French culture, whether it's their food, their art, or culture. Moving from Bahrain to stories around the world, London's largest free display of outdoor art returns to Regent's Park, featuring more than 20 international artists. Far from Frieze art fairs, packed hallways, towering artworks are populating the English Garden in the central London park. This exhibition does not wait for people to come to the art. It brings the art to where the people are, passing by on their way to work, meeting friends, having lunch or walking the dog. Without the walls and constraints of a gallery building, park dwellers and art aficionados alike can be seen circling the colorful shapes, bronze sculptures and giant installations all around Regent's Park English Gardens. It's claimed to be London's largest outdoor exhibition. Another aspect enjoyed by locals is that they can visit the sculptures again and again over the summer months and enjoy them every day on their way to work. The innovative artworks get people to think about challenging bits of art that express all sorts of themes of life with their unique designs or even incredibly vibrant colors, and others with their automated parts that make the sculptures animated and human. As the sun begins to set on a summer's day, the creative sculptures catch the last of the light, contrasting in their stillness with the chatter of people coming and going around them.
This exhibition used to run for 1 week during the fairs in October, and 3 years ago we spoke to the Royal Parks and asked if we could extend it to run for 3 months over the summer to create what is essentially London's largest outdoor sculpture exhibition. It's free for people to attend, and the wonderful thing on a beautiful evening in the park as it is now is to see people having picnics and sort of coming across the sculptures accidentally as well as intentionally.
I think it invites interaction. You don't have to go through a door and up some stairs and into a gallery. You can just being out in the open, available. Yes, that's important.
Another art fiesta, freshly painted street art by local and international artists, adorns numerous walls in Russia, which hosts Stenografia, the country's largest street art festival. 20 new artworks grace walls and buildings across the city, painted by artists from countries including Russia, Spain, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Do not adjust your set. This homage is to YouTube, part of a street art festival in the Russian city of Ekaterinburg. Now in its 10th year, the street art festival spans themes from the way art relates to social media, optical illusions to the blending of historical and contemporary art styles. Optical illusions are a popular theme among participants of the festival. Artists say they help to make a powerful point of street art, integrating local knowledge into the art they leave behind after the festival. International artists said their teams adapted their initial sketch with details they heard from local people. The artists said, getting the approval of local authorities and residents has not always been that easy, but now some of the residents themselves ask artists to paint their sites, preferably in an interesting and bright way. They were excited about the artistic, beautiful addition to their neighborhood. More than 500 street art objects have been created over the course of a decade of artists attending the festival. After Ekaterinburg, the festival will visit 12 other cities in Russia.
Street art in our times is so connected with social media, and everything we do when we see something is try to share it with other people, and we share it through social media. So basically we take pictures of everything. So I want to play with that. For me, that's the most powerful thing in the street. Like when you do something, it's like, but what is this for? It's like they normally, because people normally think like everything has to be useful or needs to be like some purpose. But when you hack that thing, like, what is this for? I think that's the most powerful point of street art.
We had conversations to people here on site. And they said, for example, okay, this building looks not exactly the same like it is here in Yekaterinburg and Uralmash. So can you change it a little bit? And we have our little friend Dima. So Dima always comes here, helps us. He's our personal volunteer, let's say it in a way, became friends. And then we painted his name on the wall, as you have seen maybe. So that's like the experience we would like to have. So having the conversations and then adapt it to our artwork.
A cat in Poland has found the perfect home high up in an oak tree. Did that sound like a cat? I tried. He has been living there for 6 years with the help of local residents who've taken to feeding him. The furry pace peering down from inside this oak tree isn't stuck. Instead, he has chosen to live the high life, having been chased up there when he was a kitten. For the last 6 years, he's made the tree his home, curling up inside a hollow when perching on a branch becomes too much. A local resident said there were plenty of cats around, and apparently a dog or something scared him and he had to climb up the tree. He has not come down ever since, and firemen tried to take him off a few times to no avail. The name of the tree-bound feline isn't known, with locals referring to him simply as the cat from Batu Cica. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we know about the world. Let's explore some interesting and entertaining facts to twist your brain and tickle your curiosity. Honeybees can recognize human faces, whereas before it was thought that only large-brained mammals could distinguish faces. But honeybees can do this as well. They see faces in a compilation of 5,000 individual images, kind of like pixels. A lion's roar can be heard from 5 miles away. To be more specific, a lion can roar as loud as 114 decibels, which is roughly 25 times louder than a gas-powered lawnmower. Recycling one glass straw saves enough energy to watch television for 3 hours. Yup, that's how important recycling is. The average person has the chance to recycle 25,000 cans in their lifetime. That means 75,000 hours of television. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are all banned in China. Those aren't the only ones either. Over 8,000 domain names are blocked. I bet this makes them incredibly productive. 10,000 fish are on display at Tokyo's biggest edition of art, Aquarium. The event, which is now in its 13th year, sees traditional Japanese art meet digital technology. Featuring hundreds of fish, it's just one of the installations based around goldfish and carps. The event attracts over 9 million visitors. In Japan, goldfish and colored carp are seen as ornamental fish, which should be treasured and never eaten. As a result, they have a strong influence on traditional Japanese artwork. Using this as an inspiration, Kimura Hidetomo, the artist, created this exhibition with a variety of artistic aquarium tanks. The exhibition also includes a cafe and a gift shop with goldfish-themed goods. Visitors can also stop by one of the collaborating local shops in the area and enjoy goldfish-themed snacks and sweets there as well. An enterprising beekeeper from a small town in Ukraine has become something of a local celebrity after making his own electric car. Naturally, he calls it the Bee and uses it for the drive to visit his apiary. In his small garage, pensioner Basil Tateka, already known for being a skilled inventor, built this electric car himself. It took him just 3 months over the winter after he decided he wanted an easy and affordable vehicle to drive to his apiary 25 kilometers away. He had previously reconstructed an electric bike for the same purpose, but realized a small economical car would be better suited to the job. Tateka learned the basics of electronics 40 years ago on a radio mechanics course. He also taught himself some extra skills via the internet in order to build his car, and the vehicle cost him $1,500 to make. Isn't that fascinating? Very few travelers are not equipped with a GPS these days, but one man is making it his mission to keep old-fashioned paper maps alive. Bruce Hull from Ohio in the US has been injecting visual flair, handing information and hidden bit of his own family's history into road maps for almost 2 decades. He has been making maps for the state of Ohio for nearly 20 years, but his maps have a very personalized difference to other paper maps.
The first one I had actually taken over was in 2001, and I was working on one of the panels, and it was our child seatbelt safety panel. And I was looking for stock pictures, and the ones I had found were kind of expensive. I mean, the cheapest one was $160. And I thought, well, you know, I've got a 6-year-old at home. I've got a minivan. I'll just put her in the back seat and take her picture. So I took her name's Ashley. I took Ashley's picture and used that photo on that panel of the map, and she's been on every one since.
To me, it's like, oh, it's not like my pictures in, like, you know, Time magazine or something, but it's just, I don't know, it's cute to just, I don't know, have people point out like, hey, I found you in this like information center at this park because you're on the map. I'm like, oh, cool.
While creativity seems like magic, there's a method behind every magic trick. From social media, we got your widely spread video of a fascinating playing cards trick. Tell us if you get it. With this, we have arrived at our last station. Goodbye and see you next week with new facts, journeys, and world stories.